Hello, so in this video we're going to look at what's called a 5-number summary, and I've chosen a list of 19 numbers. So we've got this data here. The data is odd number, so 19 being an odd number, and this is the easiest to do. I'll show you why. Firstly, the minimum is not rocket science. We can get the minimum is 1. We can get the maximum is 9. Okay. Now let's go straight into the median. Now there's 19 data. We divide that 2 to find the half. That gives us 9.5, 9.5. This will imply then that we're looking for the 10th number in the list. Okay, so if you count with me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so the median is 6, and there's only one median because we have an odd number. Now the 6 has been used now, so this 6 has been used up. So now we're going to look at what's called Q1. Q1 is called a lower quartile. Quarter, well, median is half, so we're looking for quarter. So if we look down this bottom section here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 numbers there. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the Q1, which is the lower quartile, it could even be the tower quartile. The lower quartile is 5. Alright. The third quartile, because don't forget the second one is the halfway point, which is the median. The third one is called the upper quartile, and so we end up being in this top half over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We want halfway, which is the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It turns out in this example that we've got a 5, a 6 and a 7. That obviously won't always happen, but notice that what we've done is we've quartered the data. Okay. This can then be drawn as what's called a box and whisker plot. Okay, and because I've done this before, I know that it will fit reasonably well if I start at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've gone 2 squares on here. It's a ruler basically, a number line, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to change colour to orange, and I'm going to list the 5 things. Ready? So notice what I do. There's your minimum. There's your maximum. Now 5, I make a longer line. 6, I make a longer line. 7, make a longer line, and then you box that off like that, and then there's a long whisker down there and a short whisker there. So this is called a box and whisker, or simply a box plot. What do we have on there? We have the minimum, which is 1. We have the first quartile, and notice that it's not quarter away along the number line, it's the quarter of the data. So we're not looking at a ruler and then just chopping it in half and chopping it in half again. The median is the middle of the data. It's not the middle of the ruler, not necessarily. Okay, there's my third quarter and there's my maximum. Right. We can do that on the calculator over here by entering the data into a stat. Okay, you simply press enter and it gives you a list. Now what I'll do is I'll enter these. So the first number is 1, enter, 4, enter, and so on, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, that took me about 1.5 minutes to do that, but for you it was just seconds. Here we go. You can see that L1 is 19, so then there's 19 in that list, and the last, it is actually a 9. So I know I've got to the end. What I'm going to do now is go second stat plot. Now yours might have something in here or not. It might not. If this says off here, then you would enter it and you'd need to turn it on. There's an on and off, look, so it could be off, it could be on. If you want it off, press enter and it's now off. Press enter and it's now on. Okay, we're going to go down and you can see mine's already got one in, but that's okay. I just keep going across until I get to this second box here. I then press enter. No, I don't. I press graph here, and there it is. Now my window's already been set up to have just the first quadrant, 0 to 10, 0 to 10. You could change that. And if you press this trace button here, it will give you a median of 6, and you can just flick back, and then bottom here, look, minimum x1. Okay, q1 is 5, that's the first quarter. Median is 6, quarter 3 is 7, and the max is 9. So there's a copy of that. We can also, on this stat button here, we can use a thing called calc. So as we go across to calc, you'll see one variable stats there. Press enter, and then press enter again. At the bottom there, you'll see that n is 19, which matches. Minimum x is 1. Quarter 1 is 5, and so on. Just keep clicking down. Median is 6, quarter 3 is 7, maximum is 9. Okay, we can clear that off and we're done. Now, what would happen then if we have 20 data, which is an even number? Same thing. Easy ones first. Let's do the minimum, which is 2, and the maximum, which is 9. Oh, I forgot to say, from that obviously you can get the range. You can get a simple statistic. The range is 7. Okay, and so we could have done it with this one as well back here. Let me squeeze that in as an afterthought. 9 minus 1 is 8, so we have a range there. Anyway, going back to our 20 data, let's go for the median. This is the tricky bit. 20 divided by 2 is 10. However, this implies we want the 10th or the 11th. Remember the two middles again. Okay, so if we count again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, start again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10th number is a 5, and the 11th number is a 6. So in between there is 5.5. So that's your median. The median is in between. Okay. Now let's go back to the quartiles here. So quarter 1, the lower quartile. If you have a look, we haven't used a number in our list yet. So if you look at this bottom half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 data, and we need the halfway. Well, half of 10 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we would need the 5th and the 6th. Just check that yourself. You'll see that 4.5 is a quarter of the way along. Q3, look at the top half of the data, which is along here, and again, count with me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bits of data. 10 divided by 2 is 5, we want the 5th and the 6th, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, so it's in between there. This has been done deliberately just to show what's happening. There you go. So that's your 7.5. Alright, doing the same down here. Let's have our little number line going along. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Change colour, orange. And we're going to put it in here somewhere. Let's have a think. Let me go there. The lowest this time is 2, which is there. So there's your minimum. Your maximum is again 9. 4.5 is our next number to look at. So we've got, lost my pen, sorry. Here we go. 2, 3, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5. Okay, like that. The data slightly skewed to the right there, negatively skewed. There's your minimum, there's your maximum, and then Q1, median, Q3. Okay. Let's go over into our calculator and just for a second bit of practice. Here we go. You don't have to watch this bit if you don't want. It's the same as last time. We go to Stat. We enter. Now I suppose the difference is here. If you want to get rid of that list, you go up to L1 and you press clear. And then you go back down again. Ta-da! And it all goes and it all disappears. Right, so I will put in the 20 data and come back in a minute. I'll come back in 1 second. Okay, looking over to the right here, L1, so the first list again now, got 20 numbers, which is a 9. Okay, let's go to Stat. Let's go to Calc this time. Let's do one variable stats, press enter. And again, bottom section, N is 20, minimum 2, quarter 1, 4.5, medium 5.5, median 5.5, quarter 3, 7.5, maximum 9. Do I want to plot that? Yes, I do. Second, start plot, enter. It's all set up and ready to go, so let's press enter again. Oh, no we don't, sorry. We go to graph, yeah, we just graph it. It's all set up, ready to go. Use trace again, and you'll see, starting at the left hand side, minimum is 2. We've got 5.5 for the first quartile. Median is 5, sorry, median is 5.5. First quarter is 4.5. Jumps to 7.5 there. And then finally a 9. And that's it. Let me just put a dot in there because it looks like it's 75, not 7.5, and we're done.